Most people wash their hair without thinking twice about what's in the bottle. It's part of the routine. Quick, automatic, unremarkable. But here's what most don't realize. Not all shampoos are designed for daily use. Some contain ingredients that, over time and with repeated exposure, may raise legitimate concerns, especially when used every single day. Today we're breaking down 7 popular shampoo brands that experts and dermatologists often flag as questionable for daily washing. We'll explain what's inside them, why frequency matters, and at the end we'll cover 2 alternatives that are actually formulated with gentler, safer daily use in mind. This isn't about fear, it's about informed choices. Let's start with the bigger picture. Why daily shampoo use is different. Before we get into specific brands, it's important to understand why daily use changes everything. Most shampoos are designed to clean effectively, which often means using strong surfactants, preservatives, and stabilizers. When used occasionally, these ingredients do their job and rinse away. But when you use the same formula every single day, 3 things happen. First, your scalp is exposed to the same chemical compounds repeatedly, without recovery time. This can disrupt your skin's natural barrier. Second, certain ingredients accumulate. Silicones, for example, can build up on the hair shaft. Residual surfactants can strip protective oils faster than your scalp can replace them. Third, some preservatives and fragrance compounds have been associated with long-term sensitivity, not from one wash, but from months or years of daily contact. The issue isn't always the ingredient itself, it's the frequency and context of exposure. That's the lens we'll use as we go through each brand. We're not saying these shampoos are inherently bad, we're saying they may not be appropriate for daily long-term use by most people. Now let's look at the first category. Brand number 1, Head & Shoulders category, anti-dandruff shampoos. Head & Shoulders is one of the most recognizable names in hair care. It's marketed for daily use and millions of people rely on it to manage flaking and itching. But here's the concern. Anti-dandruff shampoos are medicated treatments, not maintenance products. The active ingredient in most Head & Shoulders formulas is pyrithione zinc or selenium sulfide. Both are antifungal agents. They work by suppressing the yeast that contributes to dandruff. That's effective, but it also means you're applying a topical antimicrobial to your scalp every single day. Over time, this can alter your scalp's natural microbiome. Some dermatologists suggest that daily use of medicated shampoos may reduce the diversity of healthy bacteria on the scalp, which can lead to dependency, meaning your scalp may actually produce more flaking when you stop. Beyond the active ingredient, Head & Shoulders also contains sodium lauryl sulfate, SLS, a strong detergent that has been studied for its potential to cause dryness and irritation with frequent use fragrance, a catch-all term that can include dozens of undisclosed chemicals. Dimethicone, idonatsquirtine, inatsidro, almetacabriscandan, inatate, a heavy silicone that builds up on hair over time for people with active dandruff. Occasional use makes sense, but for daily maintenance, there are gentler options. The takeaway: medicated shampoos shouldn't be your everyday default. Brand number 2, Pantene category, mass-market, salon-quality shampoos. Pantene promises salon-level shine and repair at a drugstore price. The marketing emphasizes strength, smoothness, and professional results, but when you look at how the product is actually used, daily, by people with normal hair, not stylists preparing for photo shoots, the picture changes. Pantene's formula is built around heavy conditioning and shine, which means it relies on ingredients that coat the hair. For occasional use, this can make hair look healthier. For daily use, it can cause problems. Here's what's inside most Pantene formulas: dimethicone and amodimethicone, silicones that create a smooth, shiny layer on each strand. The problem: they don't rinse away easily. With daily washing, they accumulate, making hair feel heavy, greasy, or limp. Sodium lauryl sulfate, SLES, a slightly milder cousin of SLS, but still a strong surfactant. Daily exposure can strip natural oils and contribute to scalp irritation. Fragrance and colorants. Pantene is known for its signature scent, but synthetic fragrances are a common trigger for contact dermatitis, especially with repeated use. There's also the issue of formaldehyde-releasing preservatives like DMDM hydantoin, which Pantene has used in several formulas. These compounds break down over time and release small amounts of formaldehyde, a substance that has been studied for its potential to cause skin sensitization. Pantene isn't dangerous in the short term, but for people washing daily, the combination of buildup, strong detergents, and preservatives that raise questions makes it a poor long-term choice. Brand number 3, Suave category, budget-friendly formulas. Suave is one of the most affordable shampoo brands on the market. That low price comes from somewhere, and it's usually the quality and concentration of ingredients. Suave shampoos tend to have high concentrations of sulfates, often SLS or SLEs, as the primary cleansing agent. Budget formulas don't balance this with premium conditioning agents, so the stripping effect is more pronounced. Synthetic fragrances, often used in higher amounts to mask the smell of cheaper base ingredients. This increases the risk of scalp sensitivity and allergic reactions, especially with daily contact. Minimal conditioning, which means your hair is being cleaned aggressively but not protected. Over time, this leads to dryness, breakage, and a damaged cuticle. Parabens, methylparaben and propylparaben are still commonly used in Suave formulas as preservatives. While the science continues to be debated, some studies have explored potential concerns about endocrine activity with long-term, repeated exposure, though causation remains unclear. Suave works fine if you're washing your hair once or twice a week and using a separate conditioner. But if you're using it daily, you're essentially stripping your hair and scalp over and over with minimal protection. It's not about being cheap, it's about being too harsh for frequent use. Brand number 4, Tresemme category, salon performance at home. Tresemme positions itself as professional quality hair care for daily use. The problem is that professional products are often designed for styling, not maintenance. Here's what raises concerns. Cocamide DEA, an emulsifier and foam booster that has raised regulatory questions in some regions. While the risk from shampoo is considered low by most assessments, daily exposure over years remains an area where long-term data is limited. Heavy silicones, similar to Pantene, Tresemme uses dimethicone and related compounds to create smoothness and shine. This works in a salon setting where hair is washed and styled occasionally, but with daily use, it leads to product buildup that can clog follicles and make hair look dull. Sodium chloride, salt, used as a thickening agent, but it can be extremely drying, especially for color-treated or chemically processed hair. DMDM-hydantoin, the same formaldehyde-releasing preservative found in Pantene. Tresemme has faced legal questions from consumers alleging that this ingredient may have contributed to hair issues in some users, though direct causation has been debated. The brand has since reformulated some products, but many formulas still contain ingredients that raise questions. And even without DMDM-hydantoin, the overall formula is too aggressive for daily use by most people. So far, we've covered 4 brands, and you might notice a pattern. The common thread isn't that these products are toxic, it's that they were never designed for daily use, even though they're marketed that way. Anti-dandruff treatments, heavy conditioning formulas, budget surfactant blends, and salon-style products all have a place. But when you use them every single day, the same ingredients that make them effective also make them problematic. Now let's look at the final 3 brands, and these involve some ingredients that go beyond just buildup or irritation. Brand number 5, Herbal Essences category, fragrance-heavy natural marketing. Herbal Essences was designed for people who want their hair care to be an experience, not just functional, but sensory. The brand built its identity around botanical extracts and intense fragrance. It's meant to make you feel like you're in a garden, not a shower. But when you're using it every single day, that sensory focus becomes a concern. Here's the issue. Fragrance is an unregulated term. Under U.S. labeling laws, companies don't have to disclose what's in their fragrance blends. A single fragrance listing can contain dozens or even hundreds of individual chemicals, including compounds that have been studied for potential effects on hormones and allergen sensitivity. For people using herbal essences daily, this means increased risk of contact dermatitis. Fragrance is one of the top causes of allergic reactions in personal care products, potential concerns about endocrine activity. Some fragrance components, including certain phthalates, have been associated with hormonal questions in research. Though the significance of exposure from rinse-off products remains debated, respiratory irritation, strong scents can trigger headaches, asthma, and sinus issues, especially in enclosed spaces like showers. Beyond fragrance, herbal essences formulas also contain sodium lauryl sulfate, strong cleansing but harsh with daily use, synthetic dyes, for visual appeal, but they can irritate sensitive scalps, parabens and phenoxyethanol, preservatives with mixed safety profiles. The herbal and essences branding suggests naturalness, but the ingredient list tells a different story. For occasional use, it's probably fine. But daily exposure to undisclosed fragrance compounds is a consideration many dermatologists advise being mindful of. Brand number 6, Dove category, moisturizing shampoos. Dove markets itself as gentle, moisturizing, and safe for daily use, and compared to some of the brands we've discussed, it is milder, but milder doesn't always mean safe for everyone, every day. Here's what's worth noting: sodium lauryl isethionate, Dove's signature surfactant. It's gentler than SLS, but it's still a detergent. For people with very dry or sensitive scalps, even this can be too much when used daily. Stearic acid and glycol distearate, these are conditioning agents that make Dove feel creamy and rich, but they can also leave a residue, especially on fine or oily hair. Over time, this can make hair look greasy or flat. Fragrance, again, an undisclosed blend. Dove's scent is milder than herbal essences, but it's still present in every formula. Methylazothioazolinone, MIT, a preservative that has raised regulatory questions in some regions and has been restricted in leave-on cosmetics in Europe due to observed rates of allergic reactions. It's still allowed in rinse-off products like shampoo, but dermatologists often recommend being cautious with it, especially for people with eczema or sensitive skin. Dove isn't a bad shampoo, but it's not as universally gentle as the marketing suggests. For people with normal, resilient scalps, daily use might be fine. For everyone else, it's worth questioning whether you actually need to wash every day. Brand number 7, Garnier Fructis category, fruit extract, strengthening formulas. Garnier Fructis is marketed as energizing, strengthening, and full of fruit vitamins. The branding is vibrant and youthful, but the formula is surprisingly aggressive. Here's what's inside: ammonium lauryl sulfate, one of the harshest sulfates used in shampoos. It creates a lot of foam and cleans deeply, but it also strips hair of its natural oils faster than almost any other surfactant. Citric acid, used to adjust pH, but in high concentrations, common in fructis, it can be extremely drying and rough on the hair cuticle. Synthetic fruit extracts, the active fruit concentrates Garnier advertises, are usually just fragrance and coloring agents. They don't provide meaningful nourishment. CI 19140 and CI 15985, artificial dyes. They make the product look appealing, but they serve no functional purpose and can irritate sensitive scalps, especially with daily contact. Limonene and linalool, fragrance components derived from citrus and lavender. Both are common allergens and are required to be listed separately in Europe due to their sensitizing potential. Garnier Fructis is designed to feel invigorating and clean, and it does. But that clean feeling often comes from overstripping, not effective care. For daily use, it's one of the most problematic mass-market options. We've just covered 7 brands that for different reasons aren't ideal for daily use. Some rely on medicated actives. Others use heavy silicones, harsh sulfates, undisclosed fragrances, or preservatives that raise long-term questions. But here's the good news: there are alternatives, shampoos that are actually formulated with gentle daily use in mind. Let's talk about 2 that consistently rank as safer options. Safer alternative number 1, Free and Clear Shampoo. Free and Clear is a dermatologist-recommended brand specifically designed for people with sensitive skin, eczema, or scalp conditions. Here's what makes it different: no sulfates. It uses mild surfactants like sodium cocoyl isethionate, which clean without stripping. No fragrance, completely unscented, so there's no risk of irritation from hidden fragrance chemicals. No parabens, dyes, or formaldehyde releasers. The formula is as minimalist as it gets, pH balanced, designed to match the natural pH of your scalp, which helps maintain the skin barrier. Free and Clear doesn't foam much. It doesn't smell like anything. It won't make your hair feel silky the way Pantene does. But that's the point. It's functional, not cosmetic. And for people who need to wash their hair daily, whether due to exercise, oil production, or personal preference, it's one of the safest options available. It's especially good for people with dermatitis, psoriasis, or allergies to common shampoo ingredients. Safer alternative number 2, Vanicream Free and Clear Shampoo. Vanicream is another dermatologist favorite, and it's built on the same philosophy as Free and Clear: remove everything unnecessary. What's in it? Gentle cleansing agents, sodium cocoyl glycinate and cocoa glucoside, both derived from coconut and considered very mild. No common irritants, no dyes, fragrance, parabens, sulfates, or formaldehyde donors. No gluten, which matters for people with celiac-related skin reactions. Hypoallergenic and non-comedogenic, won't clog pores on the scalp or hairline. Vanicream is slightly more moisturizing than Free and Clear, which makes it a better option for people with dry or curly hair who still want to wash daily. Like Free and Clear, it's not glamorous. It won't make your hair smell like a tropical vacation, but it will clean your hair without introducing unnecessary risk. Both of these brands are available online and in most pharmacies. They're affordable, safe for long-term use, and backed by dermatological research. If you're currently using one of the 7 brands we discussed earlier and washing daily, switching to one of these alternatives could make a noticeable difference in scalp health over time. So here's where we are. We've covered 7 popular shampoo brands that raise legitimate concerns when used every single day. Head & Shoulders, medicated, not meant for daily maintenance. Pantene, heavy silicones and preservatives that raise questions. Suave, harsh, budget formulas with minimal protection. Tresemme, aggressive salon-style ingredients. Herbal essences, undisclosed fragrance compounds. Dove, milder, but still contains ingredients worth considering. Garnier Fructis, one of the harshest sulfate formulas on the market. And we've highlighted 2 alternatives, Free and Clear and Vanicream, that are specifically designed for safe, gentle daily use. But here's the bigger point. Washing frequency is highly individual. Some people's scalps produce more oil. Some people exercise daily and prefer to rinse. Others have hair types or scalp conditions that actually benefit from less frequent washing. There's no universal rule. What matters is understanding that the formula you choose becomes more important the more often you use it. If you're washing daily or near daily, then opting for gentler, more transparent formulations makes sense. If you're washing less often, you have more flexibility. The key is matching your routine to your actual needs, not to what a bottle tells you is normal. Small decisions compound over time. Choosing a shampoo that works with your scalp instead of against it is one of those decisions. You don't need to throw anything away today, but next time you're shopping, you'll know what to look for and what to consider more carefully. That's it for this one. Thanks for watching.